how to practice. Now, this is going to be different for everyone. We're all driven by different ideas of what we want to do, how fast we want to develop, all that kind of thing. But for a baseline, if you're a little bit confused, and a lot of people generally are when they take on the Mystery to Mastery concepts, is to really understand what you're working on and why, how much to do as a minimum, and then what else to do, how to incorporate it with their playing. So of course in the course here there is a lot of process driven and a lot of results driven, and that's kind of crossing the border between really good practice developing our mechanics and our reprogramming or retraining our brain, or developing sound. And we have to be driven by sound. A good friend and amazing mouthpiece and instrument maker, Bob Reeves, said to me one day, "You've got to get your students to hear the acoustic sounds of the trumpet." And so, as I said in the beginner's video at the website, it's very important that you have access to a great teacher with a great sound, so you can hear in the room, not via video, not via CD or MP3, the real sound. That's the best practice you can do, is getting the sound in your head. Then when it comes to doing the Windworks course and the Mystery to Mastery books, the process is go as far as you can, sticking to process, then aim for results and go for the best sound. But we need to be very aware of, again, what we're doing and why we're doing it and what we're hoping to achieve. Now, I don't mind what method books you're working from or what material you're working from. If the process behind it is free and efficient, all of the methods will work for you. But if you're starting to strain and tighten, push and try and force your way through, when you turn those pages and they become really difficult and you're using that all force approach, that might be very limiting, because you can just keep practicing getting stronger at one particular range, but it's not going to increase range, and that extra strength is not going to encourage endurance or freedom of flexibility. So the way to approach this course, start from the start. We've got the lip buzzing, the range development exercises, we've got the lead pipe exercises, we've got all the exercises in the book, some process driven, so you simply step back and don't worry about what comes out. Then we've got the results driven, we're focusing on the sound. Can we make the best sound? Through all this foundation series, there is focus on both of those. They're equally as important. But then once you've put the Mystery to Mastery Windworks stuff to the side, put a line in your practice, and let's call it the circle and the square. The circle is your mechanical development, your technical development. And once we step out of that, we then go into our music side of playing. Now, it's very difficult, especially for intermediate players, comeback players. You're going to start and feel the difference between what the process is delivering and then what you actually do. Like we said in the point of difference video, you're going to recognize the inefficiencies. Don't be upset by that. Be encouraged by that. To get rid of a problem, you've got to recognize it. And that's what this whole course is about, is to recognize your inefficiencies, to eliminate them. And people get really frustrated, or they hurry and try and get, for some people, I know, I'm teaching some seriously heavy professional players at the moment, both in the UK, around Europe and in America, and a couple of them have gone, I try and do what we're working on the gig, to which I'm horrified. Don't try and do it on the gig. You got the gig because of what you've done in the past. Keep doing that. Over time, the things that we're working on here will morph into your regular playing. It's so vital that you understand this. So we're working on process and beautiful sound. Over time, in your regular playing, you know what you want it to feel like, you know what you want it to sound like, and that's the way that you will play. So practicing, when you've moved out of the circle, the technical development area, Move into the square. That's your music. Focus on the music. Put the mind onto the music. Style and phrasing. Not, oh, my chops. Not, oh, I'm choking. Not, oh, I'm pushing. Oh, I forgot to take a good breath. You might notice that, but let it go. Focus on the music. Let the sound of the music trigger all of the mechanical responses required, all the motor systems. Let them be driven by the quality of the musical thought in your mind. So practicing again. The circle is all of the course and can include other material that you're working on. That is technical development, range exercises, Schlossbergs and Clarks and Gordons, and I don't care. All of that is in the circle. Make sure the process is right. Then line through it, music, big band charts, concertos, jazz standards. Then you're driven by the music. If you can, without any emotion, do your playing, don't get frustrated. Frustration is a waste of energy and time. Practice on this. Sure, make a mental note of something that's not working, but address it back in the practice room. A Formula One driver finding a problem with his gear changes will not bend over and try and change the gears doing 300 mile an hour. That will not end well. He takes a note of it, he lets the mechanics know. When they get back into the mechanic shop, then they fix it. Let's take that psychology, enjoy the practice, and purely observe that little dude on your shoulder. Observe what's going on. No frustration, no anxiety, a good understanding of what you need to be working on, great processes, great feelings, and over time you will improve. The more time you put into it, the faster it will happen, the more fun you will have. That's how to have a constructive practice session.